Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today. It's a pleasure to talk to you all. Very excited to see this many entrepreneurs in one place trying to do the next big startups for the Middle East. My speech today is going to be a short one. I'm going to focus on how to select the best startup idea. We all know that there are so many opportunities here in the Middle East. Internet growth is just starting. There are hundreds, millions of ideas that any one of us can start and grow and create the next billion-dollar company out. But how to really select the best idea for you and this idea for the market here, and we'll have to target these ideas to the Middle East or internationally. Next slide, please. First thing I want to say is that ideas are mostly words. So it's not about ideas. It's about your ability to execute those ideas. So whether you have the best idea in the world, if it's not patentable, if you don't have a patent for that idea, it's worthless. Your execution to it, bad execution of that idea will cause others to see it, pick it up, and do it better than you and take that market. So changing the culture that my idea is worth something, I have to protect it, I shouldn't share it with others, is the wrong attitude. Share, learn, these kind of interactions you have with others about your ideas is what's going to mature that idea and allow you to decide if it's worth pursuing or not. Maybe you have the wrong perception about something or whatever. So this is the first thing I wanted to mention. Can you have the next slide, please? The theme I'm going to talk about in terms of selecting the idea is in four parts maybe. How to think big. Think a big potential idea, start it small. So think big, start small. Fail quickly with that idea if it's not working out, and scale fast in that idea if it proves to be a good idea. Next slide, please. So firstly, think big. Now, having so many ideas and so many opportunities here in the Middle East when it comes to online, mobile, and almost every industry there is, you have a wealth of ideas to select from. So why go select a small idea? Why go after a small market? Why go after an idea that is, that's eventually going to be a $1 million idea? Why not go to the $1 billion idea, the $100 million idea? Why not go to, have big dreams? And know that these ideas are applicable here. Next slide, please. Part of selecting the big idea is knowing that it has a big market. So you always have to think where the money is. But you have to make sure you don't try to get the money from the first day. Otherwise, you're not going to service your customers right. So having a big idea, knowing that this idea, for example, I can have multiple revenue streams from it. There are big advertising budgets for people, for example, that are interested in cars. And car companies want to advertise. Someone wants to build a site for cars. Is there an e-commerce potential? Yes, I can sell used cars. I can do something like this. Is there other revenue streams? Yes, I can have a subscription. I can have a magazine. I can have a TV channel. I can have so many things if I build competence. But don't try to follow those revenue streams from day one. Because if you try to do it, you're not going to service your customers. If you start charging customers from day one, if you start pushing advertisement on them from day one, this idea is just going to fail. So if you know that this idea has a big pool, a big success potential, try to focus on how to service the customer best. Facebook did not think how to make money at the beginning. Twitter did not think how to make money at the beginning. Google had no clue how to monetize at the beginning, but they knew that there is money. So don't start something that, there isn't money. If you want to do, a site that's, cater to, people who are, trading used books. How are you, for example, going to monetize it? Unless there is a big enough market, unless there is people who are interested in advertising on that site, or a way to charge people for this, a feasible way, then no matter how many customers you have, it's not going to be a worthwhile idea. You'd rather go to an idea that has a huge potential. So, but it's not just a scientific thing. It's not just a business. This makes sense. There is a lot of money in this area, so you go and do it. You have to have a competitive edge. You have to have passion to it. You have to be a user to that idea. Someone starting a technical, a gadget like who doesn't love gadgets, who wouldn't cover, the iPad 2 release with the same minute Steve Jobs was talking, will not succeed. So no matter how successful that area is or that idea, that potential, you have to be the first customer of that idea. If it's a problem you're solving, you have to be facing that problem personally and know all the competition in this area or something, have passion and knowledge about that thing you are starting. Otherwise, what's the difference? Anyone can start that idea and do a better job. It's about quality, it's about passion, it's about distinction. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Other thing, we tend to go towards technical challenges. We tend to go toward the tough, physical ideas, where there are so many low-hanging fruits available for us. So why climb to the top of the tree to pick up a fruit where you can pick it standing down? There are so many ideas that are available, that are up for grabs. We know the potential of e-commerce in the Middle East is in the billions. It's very much underserved. The potential of games is in the billions. It's underserved. The potential of social networks, the potential of things. Why go and try to do something for semantic web and RFIDs and stuff that are going to take years to mature, when you can do something that is available, that can succeed immediately? And can you go to the next slide, please? Also, make sure you don't fall into the high trap. There are so many ideas, so many buzzwords, so many things that people are talking about, blogging about, writing about, that are so many technologies and areas that are very hyped up. If you go to try to do an idea at the top of the hype, the only thing that's going to happen is that when the hype starts, when the ideas start being validated more and go through the disillusionment, what's going to happen is that you lose interest in anyone who wants to work with you, you lose interest of investors, because this is, until it matures a little and go through this. This is a typical hype cycle graph by Gartner, and they do this in so many industries and so many verticals, and it's typical. When a new thing come along and everyone is just thinking about the potential of this idea. Take video set, for example, or social analytics, or internet TV, or something like this. Everyone's talking about internet TV, Apple TV, Google TV, stuff like this. We all know it's not going to be a multi-billion-dollar business this year, or next year, or the year after. It's going to take time, because it's still just the thought that people are going to fly in space and people are going to do this and that, and the dreams make the hype grow so much with people, the expectations grow, and naturally people, this hype will collapse, and then the idea will start taking its rightful size. So if you want to select an idea, select something that not just because it's the buzzword, because you know that there is potential for it in the market. You know how to reach the market. So everyone knows Groupon is worth billions of dollars now, and it's the biggest thing since whatever. So should I just go ahead and do a Groupon for Egypt? Great. If you can justify, that you have market for it, you have people who are interested in it, and there is a business sense for it to do, then go ahead and do it. But don't just do it because it's cool, because everyone's talking about it, because it's the trend in the West or whatever. So next slide, please. This was, that think big kind of part of the presentation. Now, knowing that the area you're working on is a big blue ocean, there's a big opportunity, you can make billions out of it eventually on something, you need to start small. Anyone can start an idea with $2 million. Anyone can, maybe make a success with it, several $1 million out of this. But this success not necessarily is going to, you are going to be able to replicate it. It's going the amount of money that went into it will make your investors, will make you, will make everyone so anxious to get results faster. You will lose that flexibility, the agility. It's the fat cat startup versus the lean startup in the terminologies of investors. So you can always start, something. Let me give you an example from an offline example, outside of it. Anyone can go and build a very nice villa for $2 million. Give me $2 million, I'll bring the contractors, designers, everything, and do a state-of-the-art villa for you to live in. But if you can do the same villa, with the same quality, with the same structure and everything for $500,000, then what's going to happen is that you're going to have so much potential to make money out of it. You can go into real estate, you can start a company, you can build hundreds of villas and sell them to people for 100% margin, sell it to them for $1 million, and do business. If you just throw money at an idea for it to succeed, yes, it may succeed, but the scalability of it, the ability for you to replicate the success into other startups and make a lot out of it will be limited. Next slide, please. This is what investors call the value of debt. So usually when you start a startup, you have zero cost, it's just you, there is no investment that comes into it. As you invest into this idea and still there is no revenue coming out, still no valuation is there, and nothing, this financial, the drop that happened in expenses with no revenues coming to the company could sink a company. Because the deeper this value of debt, the higher the investor and the partners who have want success to happen faster and sooner, and want this successful curve to go up. They will pressure you with time, they will pressure you with everything for this to happen. So the challenge is how to do it with the minimal investment. Next slide, please. Especially for this part of the world. Now, when you're in the States, and we know that the market is in trillions of dollars, and you can start a startup in a few years, it's worth $1 billion and stuff like this. You can afford to throw $4 or $5 million in an idea. But here, with this amount of money, you can start 100 startups and make much more, and with the same amount of money. And the very important part here is your ability to know what happened. So if you start an idea and spend $2 million on this idea, what's going to happen simply is that if you are asked to replicate it, you'll not be able to do that. And I know for a fact, if you ask many of the successful site owners here in the Middle East, how did you succeed? You're the greatest site in Egypt. Can you go and replicate this in Jordan? You're the biggest site in Saudi in this area. Can you do a success in Morocco? They wouldn't know how to start. They wouldn't know where to begin. Because they didn't know what was the reason for their success. Was it our marketing approach? Was it this individual? Was it, the cultural acceptance of our service? Was it this or that? They wouldn't know. If you start small, if you identify the theories and variables for your idea, this is the most critical part in any startup. So if you say that I want to grow a group for Egypt, for example, what you are saying is that there are people in Egypt who are interested in discounts in certain type of products. And I can do a great job finding those products and marketing it to them. So these are so many theories that you are doing. You need to make sure that you identify those theories, you try to prove them quickly, or fail at them quickly, so that you can go to the next startup, to the next idea. Let me give you an example offline, just for clarity. Say you make the best type of donuts that you love and your friends love, or your mother makes those for you, and you think of opening a shop. And you want to do the next Dunkin' Donuts, and you know there is a market for it, people love it and everything, and what basically your theory here is that your donuts are better than the Dunkin' Donuts or whatever other donut shop you have here, and that you can do a great job in marketing it and branding it and positioning it for people to buy from you. So if you go open a small shop in a remote area and market it, and this shop fails, did it really fail because your marketing approach was wrong? Did it fail because the location was wrong? Did it fail because the price was wrong? Did it fail because the taste of the donuts, it's just your family who likes it? It's not, no one else likes it but you? So what was the failure? You wouldn't know. So you either continue to spend money trying to make it happen and advertise more and do stuff or something, while if you take another approach, take those donuts to friends, take them to stand in the streets, people taste them, give you their feedback, do a survey, and then go to an existing pastry shop with a lot of traffic and sell them this donut. And so the recipe, just give them the donut. If you see that it's not selling there, this means simply that those donuts are not as great as you thought, and there is no business. If it's still averagely, then you know that the market for it is medium, and should you invest, not invest in that, it's up to you. If it sells quickly and much bigger than your expectation, I assure you, even before you invest, you have 100 investors working to franchise this from you and give you $10 million to open 100 shops instead of doing a single shop for it. So try to minimize any variables that will cause this company to fail, and try to prove them one concept at a time. So going back to online, if you want to do the next Amazon, you know that there is big potential for e-commerce with this. You cannot start a big e-commerce site selling hundreds of items and do a great job at it from day one without spending tens of millions of dollars on it. And it's not worth doing that. So select one area. I just want to sell gadgets, products, books, DVDs, or whatever, and stick to that. And instead of going, I want to sell across the Middle East or across Egypt, I want to sell only in Cairo. And I want to do a great job in marketing and targeting people and that. If you prove that is doable, then all you have to do is just replicate it. But then you have done, you went through the whole learning curve from how to market it, how get customers, what were your products, the right products, were your customers the right customers. So I'll do a Facebook campaign today for this product and only target females aged 20 to 30, and I'll see does it work with them. I'll do a campaign next week and only target males 10 to 20, and I'll see does it work with them. Because there is no benchmark still in the Middle East. Having a successful site benchmark against the US, you can always start a startup and throw money at it, and the chances of that succeeding will be great. And not having items, does anyone of you know how many iPhones there are in the Middle East? Does anyone of you know how many Androids there are? Does anyone of you know how many people you pay for iPhone apps or something? These are all, gut feelings at the end of the day. I have a gut feeling that a lot of people use iPhones to buy apps, and if I do this type of app, it will be great. So do it and start small with it. Clinton mentioned the minimum viable product. It's a very, very important concept to have. Launch quickly, launch fast. And if you start proving that the core theories behind your startup are not working, then fail quickly and move on to the next startup. Don't stick around and try to make it work. But by then, if the investment was small, you can afford to do that. I don't focus on non-critical stuff. So you don't have to do your own hosting, and you don't have to do your own email, and you don't have to do your own customer support and stuff like this, and end up focusing on the secondary issues and leaving the core theories unproven. This is the message. And once you prove this theory, no matter how small of a scale you prove it, then you will find investors lining up to give you millions of dollars to go just replicate it. Hire 100 employees, do a massive marketing campaign, and grow it. But then you've already succeeded. Next slide, please. The point before the last one is it is extremely important to have the right team and to have passion and love to the startup you are doing. To mention the importance of team. Team is the core part of any startup. Investors, 90%, I would say, plus of their decision to invest in a startup is because of the investors. It's because of the entrepreneurs behind the idea. It's not about the idea. Now, I'm an investor. If I can, hire 10 people and go do this Amazon Middle East or Groupon Middle East or Twitter Middle East or whatever big idea, why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I just go hire a bunch of people and do the next thing? Because you can't do it with hiring people. You have to have a passion. You have to have the best people work behind it. You have to, as Ben said, everything in your startup. So if you hire a developer or a designer or a social marketer or any kind of employee in the company, will that person go carry boxes with you and help you paint the office and go out to get that staff or do something? As an employee, usually they wouldn't. However, having partners in this, and it's not about ego, it's not about who's the boss or who's the leader, and it's about making it happen. At the end of the day, being the co-founder of the next billion-dollar company is worth much, much more than you think. Now, what would you rather have? Would you rather own 100% a company that's worth $1 million? Or would you rather own 1% of a company worth $100 million? It's the same amount, it's all $1 million, but the second one is much more important because if you're a co-founder of a $100 million company, as Ben mentioned, you will find investors waiting for you to invest. They'll come to your house begging you to take their money to start the next startup because you were part of making a big success. So it's not a matter of who's going to be the boss or who's going to do this. found out that he's not the CEO, he brought the CEO and he's having customer support. Founders of Google, brought Eric Schmidt over recently to manage the business for them for the past 10 plus years. So it's not about this, and it's about passion. It's about believing in the idea, having a team that works together, that get things done and can deliver. Next slide, please. And the 80-20 principle. Launch the product when it is good enough, the minimum viable product. A few years ago, I was listening to a podcast, I'm sure all of you here listen to this today, and the panel there were talking about, what was the legacy of Bill Gates when he retired? And was it that he's the first one who did an operating system? No, it was done before. Was it that he's the first one who did a GUI interface for an operating system? No, someone else did it before. Was it this or that? They couldn't find anything that Bill Gates did that was a really huge mark except two things. Bill Gates had a big dream from the early 80s. The dream of Microsoft was to have a PC on every desk and in every home running Windows. That was at the time that there were no PCs, so shooting for the stars, dreaming big, thinking big was one big part of his legacy. And that he was shipping products when they were good enough. We never got the first release of Windows that was perfect, that was not crashing, that did not have bugs. But Windows is the majority of operating system used in the industry. That reason is you don't wait for it to be there to launch it. You lose so much money, you lose the opportunity. Others will catch the market before you, the demand. So you have to launch when the product is good enough. Last slide, please. And you already proved that you can do the possible. So you just have to do it again